Hello, and let's welcome Professor A. Jayanthan from IIT Madras at Chennai. Professor Jayanthan is an algebraist, and his specialty is commutative algebra. It's a real pleasure to talk to you, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, we gather that your first interaction with MTTS was as a student. At which level did you participate?
It was in 1996,
Okay.
level 2
All right.
at Ferguson College, Pune.
I see. Was it the very first MTTS?
Yes.
It was.
Yeah. I did my BSc from local college in Kerala, and nobody knew about MTTS there.
I see.
Of course, it was the early stages of MTTS.
Right.
And then I came to Bombay to do my MSc, and from there I got to know about MTTS.
Okay.
And I should mention one thing here, that initially I was not selected for participation in MTTS.
I see.
Then I went to Kumaresan sir, made a special request saying that I'll make payment for my stay, my food and everything, but you allow me to, be with the... And he, with this condition, he agreed. Of course, after, attending, after reaching Pune, I kept asking him, when should I make the payment? He will say, okay, later, and ultimately, I participated as a normal participant.
I see. Yeah. So possibly it was his way of ensuring that somebody who was genuinely motivated made it to the program.
Yeah.
Yes. So. Okay. What were your first impressions on this program?
Well, so I should say that it was not really a cultural shock to me when I came to MTTS.
I see.
Because I was already under training from Kumaresan sir for 1 year in Bombay University.
I see.
And my good friends, Ajit, who's even one of the core committee member for the past so many years, and Abhijit and our group, except me, all were MTTS alumni by then. They had attended 95 MTTS.
I see.
And I just joined that group. I was really fortunate to get into that group. So it was kind of an MTTS culture going on over there.
I see.
So, and of course, Professor Kumaresan was teaching us. And of course, in the beginning, I had it was a shock to me.
What kind of a shock?
In the sense that, until BSc, what you see is that a teacher comes into the classroom, defines a concept, gives property, next theorem, proof, then moves on to another property, theorem, proof. Now he comes into the class and asks questions. He will ask, what do you know about set of all real numbers? So we are like, what do we know? What should I say? Like, it's not clear what to say. And then what properties? Whatever comes to your mind, tell me. So that's how he, brings in the thoughts about an object from each one.
Right.
That's how he brings up the,
right.
So in the class itself, we ultimately proved many things on our own because of his. Of course, the other other subjects were not exactly like this, but this was like Kumaresan sir's exposition to this kind of methodology. I had already undergone before coming to MTTS.
Okay. So it was.
That's why it was not a cultural shock to me.
It was not a cultural shock.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's new approach to pedagogy.
Yeah.
A little bit before I go into pedagogy about your own career path.
Yeah.
Let me just broach upon that. You finished your MSc there, and then you joined IIT Bombay for a PhD program with Professor Jugal Kumar Verma.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And later you graduated from IIT Bombay, and then now you're an algebraist in IIT Chennai.
Yeah.
So in some sense, you've seen the entire spectrum of mathematical pedagogy, right?
Yeah.
And you also teach your own students now.
Exactly. Yes.
How much of Professor Kumaresan's own approach to pedagogy has actually percolated into your own classroom experience with your own students now?
Yeah. So, I keep thinking about this. Professor Kumaresan, his style, one can try to imitate. But, reaching that level is like, that's, for example, I don't have that talent. But certainly I do try to, for example, I just finished a course in Galois theory. And in that course, I never wrote down a theorem and a statement and a proof. In the whole course, we developed the theory. Ultimately, at some point, we'll say, okay, so now we have proved this statement.
Does this come as a shock to your students?
Well, I told them in the beginning, this is what we are going to do. So be prepared. So I did that. I did that even in like when I taught the course even in the previous year. And of course, it's been being an MTTS student and then as a resource person in MTTS, and I've been part of PTMT as well.
I see.
So with all these things, I am still evolving, as a teacher. So this is the second time I tried this, that, I have not written down a statement and proof. So that much I could do. Now, that I'm pretty happy with the
wonderful
with the course.
So your students have taken very favorably to this?
As far as I understand, yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. So, and you owe it to Professor Kumaresan.
Of course, as a teacher, I don't place anyone even parallel to Professor Kumaresan.
He's just right up there.
He's just right up there.
Okay.
And it's his style, and anytime you be with Professor Kumaresan, you will get to learn something or the other.
Wonderful.
Either mathematically or pedagogically.
Wonderful. That's a great thought. Yeah. Professor Kumaresan, today, when you were speaking about his own approach that he tried to bring in, said that people must not be afraid to experiment, ask questions, make mistakes,
exactly,
and learn from those mistakes.
Yeah.
And probably never make the same mistake again, because there are many more other interesting mistakes to make.
Yeah.
So do you consciously let your students comprehend this, or do you have your
in fact,
have you evolved your own strategy to do this?
This sentence, I keep telling them, there's something that Professor Kumaresan had told us long back, like, no child has learned walking without falling many times.
Wonderful.
So this sentence I keep
reinforcing.
Reinforcing. I tell my students, so you should forget about whether I make mistake, worry of mistakes.
Right.
You have to make mistakes.
Yeah.
This I certainly emphasize.
You strongly recommend that.
Yes, certainly.
Yes. Yeah, wonderful. And Professor Kumaresan has had 25 glorious years behind him.
Yeah.
And you being a younger colleague now,
yeah,
and a much younger student earlier, you have the opportunity to take this forward.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the next 25 for MTTS? And where do you see people like you, not just you, Professor Jayanthan,
yeah,
people like you, the whole ecology of people who started off as early MTTS, shall we say, adopters, to having grown with the process, and now at a time of in their own lives when they can contribute to the system.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
So, the MTTS alumni, we have seen probably one or two or more MTTS camps. They should come forward. I did organize an MTTS last year in IIT Madras, and I guess more younger colleagues should come forward, and they will. I'm sure, whenever I speak of MTTS, there are many younger colleagues who proudly say that yes, I am an MTTS alumni. So there are many people who will certainly come forward, and it should, as long as Professor Kumaresan can be there at least as a guiding light, he will be there.
Right.
And with his guidance, it should go even 25 or even more years.
Right.
And there will certainly be support from the alumni is my my wish or my
your promise.
Promise. Yeah, I will certainly be there.
That's a great
but I'm sure there are many who share similar thoughts.
Wonderful.
Younger colleagues that even some of them whom I have interacted with.
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
I'm sure it will continue.
Great. Is there anything, and this is something that I've been asking everybody who has come here, because you present a single situation to a group of 100 people, and there are 100 impressions that are made, all of them different.
Yeah.
So your own individual special moment with Professor Kumaresan from the past.
Well, I don't know whether I can point out a single incident, but he really taught me and how to learn mathematics. How you should look at mathematics. How to learn mathematics. When you see a result, one can always try to understand line by line, but that's not really understanding. You understand only the statement. You don't understand the theorem. This is something that I learned from Professor Kumaresan. How to learn mathematics. I can learn a statement, but to understand the concept, you need much more. And how to do that was surely shown to me by Professor Kumaresan. Yeah.
So can we just summarize it as saying that Professor Kumaresan provides you a holistic view that makes you understand that the sum is, or the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Exactly.
Is that a correct way to put it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. Wonderful talking to you, Professor Jayanthan.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank you
for
very much.
giving me an opportunity here.
My pleasure. Thank you.